things? Just two?
If anyone would like to set up a carryout container before we tear it down, please.
I'll take a look at the bread and I'll
Right.
find the butter. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I can't eat it. I'm trying to diet. I can't eat
Get her
it.
some bread.
It was delicious.
Could everybody join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Absolutely.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. It's so nice to see everyone. It's kind of weird we're not doing Student of the Month and you guys aren't standing up. And so, do you want Gina to do that first?
Absolutely. So one of the invitations that we offered to our new staff, and I'm so thrilled that we are with one of our new team members tonight, is to invite them to board meetings so that the board can get to know our new educators. And so, Mrs. Fleming, would you like to introduce your new teacher at South Grove and
Would be honored.
her darling family here?
Absolutely. So it does give me great pleasure to share with you one of our newest team members here is Nicole McCord. Nicole teaches 6th grade of social studies and language arts for us and comes to us with an amazing background of philanthropic work overseas in addition to education. And this is her amazing Hornet Park student. So let's give her a
Welcome. I'm so happy to have you.
Where were you overseas?
I've been to a few places. Korea. I was teaching it. I was working with Turkish school, and in Oman, Muscat, Oman,
Oh, wow.
and in Abu Dhabi, and in Israel and Palestine.
Oh my gosh, you have been everywhere. What a wonderful opportunity. Well, we're glad you joined us.
Thank you.
So tonight, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do the appropriation hearing. So we need a motion to approve the proofs of publications as listed.
A motion?
Rob?
I'll second.
April? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do we have anyone making public comment tonight? I don't think so. Okay, so then we need a motion to adopt additional appropriation, adopt the additional appropriation resolution.
We adopt the additional appropriation resolution.
Beth?
I'll second.
Tara, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then we need a motion to approve the final bond resolution, including approval of the supplement to master continuing disclosure undertaking, wow,
I know, it's a
and
mouthful.
appointment of bid committee to receive bond bids listed. That was a mouthful.
It is. I apologize.
I'll move.
April?
Don't have to say that sentence again.
I'll second it.
Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we don't have anybody here from the public, so we don't have to do that tonight. So, Miss Garman?
Okay. We had a lot of information here. Back on. Had a lot of information in what I sent, so I don't know if you have any questions. Some of the things I want to highlight, well, new things. The website's new. What's really neat is we're able to really track. I kind of like to dive into what we're able to track. We're able to track unique users, IP addresses and percent, and we've had a lot of traffic in July up some incredible percent. I don't have it in front of me, but it's really neat to see. Everything we're doing is back to the website, back to the website. So that's been really successful. One of my favorite things is a contact us form for parents that maybe not feel comfortable. And being in the community lately, Steph and I both had talked to someone, they are not comfortable calling or showing up at the admin building. And it was really neat, especially to see the conversation you had with that one lady too. But we're having other people do the form on the website. And what's neat about that is they can just fill it out and we just get back with them and say, what can we do to help? And it's just a really nice way for them to feel comfortable. And so it's been fun. I think we're up to 160 people just through that contact us. One of the other things that we're doing that's really neat is we are continuing the Flat Hornet. That was a lot of fun, and it gathered more steam than I think I thought. And so Flat Hornet is now home. If you followed that, the Flat Hornet is out in the community. It's been in Niagara Falls on the cruise ships. And we're doing surprise pop-ups at different bus stops. The reason behind this is we want to get pre-K through 12. And we're now finding that Wednesdays are a nice time to do that because of the early release, and we can catch the little guys and the seniors. And what we're doing is giving them gifts. We just finished packing some of those up today. So for example, if a 8th grader gets off the bus and it's a girl, we have a little zip-up bag that has maybe some supplies that a girl may need, but it's covered, it's you can't see it. Some chapstick, soap, shampoo, different things like that. We had, the first time we did it, we didn't really know what we were doing. We just knew we wanted to get out and meet the kids where they are. Those of you that participated in this room, I know Steph and Laura and Amy Reeves was there. It was a bigger gift to us than I think it was the kids. And the hugs that we got, and not just from the kids, the apartment manager, and all we did was sit up, play some music, have some things for them to take. Now, I've learned from that. You don't put a tub of deodorant out there and think that only 15-year-old boys are going to grab that. You've got 4-year-old boys that are put in their pockets and that are, so we've evolved with the baggies. But it's a really neat thing. We're calling them surprise because we don't know what the weather's going to be like, and the last thing we want to do is say, we are going to be here at this time, and then it becomes an expectation, and they may drive over. We want it to be at their bus stop, at their, we want it to be a surprise. And it's something we're just doing here as the summer wanes. Our goal next year, as we keep talking about it, we would like to do it early, get registration. I have a MyFi, so I'm able to get people registered. We did that the first time, and they didn't need to be registered. But we get out there into June, beginning of July, get some of those free and reduced in their hands, get school calendars in their hands, get free backpack assistance. We're not asking. We had one little guy said he went to IPS, which I don't know, I believe, well, he probably did. Sweetest little boy. But he was okay, right? Because he was there for us just to say, welcome to Beech Grove, we love you, and here's some things for you. So it's been really nice.
I have a question. Are you going to continue to go back? Because I did not provide supplies like you had added on your list, and I was going to do that. So my question is, if you're still doing it,
Yes.
I want to participate, but I also want to know, do you want full size, or do you want like little travels so that you can put it in little bags and
So
things
we're
like
getting
that?
both, and so to answer your first question, the original goal when we sat and talked about it was we're not committing anybody, but we're not going to commit past fall break
Okay.
because of weather and everything
Sure,
else.
sure.
Then the funding is obviously an issue.
So right now, we're using federal funds for community engagement. So through our title grants, we actually have dollars that are allocated to support community engagement, and we also have dollars that are derived from our McKinney-Vento grant. So we can use those dollars to help to support families in need.
But
Yeah, so no general fund or education.
there is no,
fund
yeah, no,
allocation.
and some of these things, I'll just tell you.
Are just donations.
Are just donations.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said there's no
The beautiful
conflict
thing
with
is we don't have very much money left. I can tell you that. There's not much. So it is going to be almost while supplies last. But to answer that, we have full-size items. I haven't, and so I'm kind of gathering some of the bigger full-size items. So as we get towards the end and I see that I can't do the baggies, then we'll have, hey, here's your 712 place, and then we could give them the, but yeah, I mean, we will take anything. We've had donations of brand new Vera Bradley bags, brand new wrapped, nice
Wow.
Vera Bradley like makeup bags.
Wow.
We have a pair of like moccasin, I mean, these are brand new things. Now, how's that divided? I'm not gonna ask that question. I'm gonna take the stuff, and then at the end, we'll figure it out, right? It's just, you're learning a lot. You wanna make sure no one is embarrassed. You wanna make sure, and they're not, you know, we have them in the bags, and it's been neat. The conversations have been my favorite.
With the parents.
Yeah.
Caregivers.
And
And the
caregivers
kids are just loving
that
it.
don't even have a child, but they're at the apartments,
And they're like,
and they're like, do you mind if I take a bar of soap? Absolutely, here you go.
Yeah.
Very, very kind people.
Lots of
It's been great.
positive. Yeah.
So, anyway, that's kind of the big thing, and honestly, wherever it takes us, it takes us.
Are we, this is out there, but, you know, we have some kids who don't necessarily have a permanent place to stay.
Sure.
Do we have a spot that we provide that stuff where they might be able to take a shower and we offer shampoo and soap and everything for them to use? Do we have anything like that?
You bet. And our principals can, I think every one of our principals would be able to offer a load of stories that lean into just that, Janice. We have the ability for all of our schools really to have some sort of bathing
Okay.
option.
Okay.
It doesn't happen all the time, but certainly when that need presents,
Sure.
the team works together to make sure that those needs are met. Lots of times, our leaders and their team will launder clothing if it's needed. Just any sort of, any need, you
Assistance.
know, it's just met, yep,
Yeah.
and with no questions and judgment, but
Yeah.
just support and love.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do a wonderful job of that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And there's a couple little toys in the younger, they've got little, sorry principals if you hate it, but I think Stephanie's, we got a little puppet thing for the K, a little fidgety thing, and you can ban them and you can blame, but the little, you know, we don't want them to eat the soap, because some of the soap's really cute. I'm like, I'm not putting that in the, or in a park one.
Sorry, Erin.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll keep that. They have the toothpaste and the toothbrush, which I thought like a kindergartner. It's fun.
Okay.
Great, it's been a wonderful thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Brian?
So on the personnel update for the staff openings, we have, the only update there, I believe Tim has made an offer for the tech position. I haven't talked to you if it was accepted, but, so we're still there. We're still going to be looking for that position, but those are kind of where we are at the moment. Also wanted to kind of highlight the Lilly Foundation grant. I talked a couple board meetings ago about a Project Lead the Way grant we had to help embed the Gateway, Project Lead the Way Gateway at the middle school. We got another $20,000 Lilly Foundation grant that also will help with implementing the Project Lead the Way Gateway at the middle school. So we'll be working with Mr. Morgan to kind of have a strategic plan of how we're going to kind of do that over the next 3 years. It'll pay for training of our teachers, and then it also will pay for some of our technology needs that are associated with the program. And that's a STEM-based program. Kind of skipping on, I did want to highlight that we did do some research and got authorized for, because Julie does all the finances for the food service, to get part of her salary taken out of that food service fund, which is very healthy. We do quite well there, so 20% of her salary, and that alleviates obviously pressure on the education fund.
Nice.
So that was a really, or yeah, operations, I'm sorry. She's the finance. And then I tried to highlight just some things with the classified handbook that I shared. And I appreciate Julie helping me with that. We tried to really streamline that and make it a much more simple document for our classified staff. All those different pay schedules and work schedules were really complicated for people. So yeah, I think it's a lot more streamlined and clean now. Nobody lost anything in that process. People actually gained a little bit with some vacation days, but I think it's a lot better document now, and it's cleaned up and really brought in line with current law. There were some areas that we needed to clean up there, but also it'll be a much more user-friendly document for our classified staff.
I actually read the whole thing, and I had one question. I know for bereavement leave, there are so many days, but when you live 300 miles away, you get an extra couple days. Do you have to, do they have to submit something that shows that they actually did that travel?
There's nothing in the
Not that you
handbook
wouldn't believe them,
requires
but I'm
that.
just curious.
There's nothing, no language in there that requires that.
Okay.
I think we
Typically,
would
we're
rely on
told where
someone's
they-
integrity to,
You bet, you know, if they
We-
need to travel to Pennsylvania, or, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
typically, we, or the building leaders will know kind of location.
Yeah, I think we know them personally enough
Yeah.
that you already know their background and where their families are, but
Okay.
in some other corporations, they do require, so that's why I asked. Just wondered.
I've worked at places where I had to bring the card back from the,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
We don't even
Or
have
your
to.
airplane
Or
ticket or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any provision in there for that. I mean, something that could be added.
well, I'm glad we don't, because it was extremely tacky when I had to do it.
Yeah.
It feels.
It's like they don't believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we rely on people's integrity.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, and, you know, been back a couple of years, we haven't had one case where we were concerned that we weren't, you know, that it wasn't a truly legitimate experience.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
So could we get a motion to approve the employment recommendations?
I'll make said motion.
Tara,
Second.
Rob, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then we need to make a motion to approve the 23-24 Beech Grove City Schools Classified Handbook as listed.
I move to approve the handbook.
Jill?
I'll second.
Beth, was that you? Beth, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Dr. Hammock and Julie.
Bet. So just like we had asked last spring, we are just asking for a renewal of the 23-24 adjunct teacher contract for Katie Stafford. She is the individual who is employed by Holy Name Catholic School. Let me re-say that. We employ Katie Stafford. She is placed at Holy Name Catholic School. She is funded through the federal dollars that are generated by Holy Name. So she is the individual that we then have placed on an adjunct contract so that her compensation can be aligned with the compensation of Holy Name. This is the strategy that we've used.
Okay.
If she were a typical employee with us, she would be in our bargaining unit, and that would be a different compensation level than where she would be with her colleagues at Holy Name.
So then she goes in their pay scale.
She does. She is
Okay.
paid how Holy Name pays their,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
We employ her.
I'm sorry, what? I don't know, you'll have to ask Laura. Is it lower than ours?
Yes,
Is it one to
I'm
know?
sure it is.
Kind of figured, but, okay.
Yeah, I thought that's what I heard.
So could we get a motion to approve the adjunct teacher contract?
Motion?
Rob?
Second.
Jill? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then we need a motion to approve the 23-24 administrators contracts, which we just got, right?
So
I'll
you-
make that
Yeah,
motion.
we've seen
those.
them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and nothing has changed. I just want to make sure you had a copy of
Yeah.
it in front of you for the action.
Appreciate that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
April? Beth? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, then we need a motion to approve the 23-24 teacher appreciation grant.
This is just your annual action for the Teacher Appreciation Grant language. No changes at all, except for our updates to the years and just kind of updating it to be applicable to this school year, but no substantive change in that grant. Just so you know, then this language is submitted, we'll do that tomorrow to the Department of Education, and then that allows for our Teacher Appreciation Grant dollars to be generated. Those dollars are distributed, kind of a statutory requirement, at a point in December, so that they'll give us the notification when they're distributed, we'll get them out. But in order for all that action to be triggered, this action by the board needs to initiate the process.
So who determines the appreciation awards?
I wish it were us, because we would make it nice and big, right?
Yes.
But it is an allocation that is an algorithm that is derived by the Department of Education as a result of statutory. So the nexus of all of it begins with the General Assembly. Department of Ed is who works on the allocation, and then it is distributed. We are told the allocation that we get, and then we divide it by the number of educators that.
So everybody gets it?
Everyone gets it, but there are
Which is great.
stipulations.
Sure.
You have to, so there are two allocations. One allocation is if you have scored highly effective on the teacher evaluation rubric. Another allocation, which is required to be a percentage lower than the highly effective allocation, is for your effective educators. If you fall in ineffective land, then you do not qualify for the TAG grant.
Which makes sense. Okay, could we get a motion to approve the teacher appreciation grant?
I'll make said motion.
Tara?
I'll second.
April? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do you want to talk about the Neola policy?
No, tonight, all that we'll ask for is the formal adoption of the Neola Policy Volume 35, Number 2. That's that binder of wonderful reading that we
Light
gave
reading.
you.
It
Yes,
was
very
wonderful.
light reading. So what happens, just so you know the procedural part of this, upon your action, we then submit this action to the Neola group. They will upload our policies to our online site, and then those policies will be live and ready to go.
Okay. Could we get a motion to adopt the Neola policy?
Volume 35, number 2.
Beth, will second, please.
I'll second.
Tara, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That was you, right? Oh, it was April? I'm
Me.
sorry.
I'm-
I usually can recognize your voices. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Tom, operations.
Well, big shout out to Misty and her team. Julie and her group were able to roll over Skyward quite a bit earlier this summer, which allowed Misty an extra 2 or 3 weeks to route things, her and Kevin and Curtis. And as a result of having that extra time, the first day of school was nearly flawless. Lots fewer problems than we've had in the last several years. So just wanted to give her some credit on that. We're still a couple bus drivers short. However, we're seeing numerous applications come in, and by numerous, I mean 6 or 7 or 8.
Good.
For drivers, and then another handful for monitors. And that's due to the Inspire website that Brian has us connected with. So the unfortunate thing is most of them we're going to have to train, which is absolutely okay. But we should be up to full staff again here with some room to spare, hopefully.
Are our bus driver rates competitive?
Our bus driver rates are competitive with those around us. Plus, most of the drivers around us drive an 8-hour day, and ours is a 6-hour day. So with adding perf and then equalizing health insurance, which we did last year, we're in good shape with our neighbors.
Good.
So, what was the driving field, I guess we'd say?
It's a lot better to drive in Beech Grove because
It's hard to get lost.
It's hard to get lost.
That's true.
And there aren't very many bridges you can't get underneath, and yeah, it's good. It's a positive experience for our drivers.
You don't think you're going to have to drive much this year?
I hope not, no. I drove the blind school several times last year.
The blind school?
Yeah. Yeah, we had one student that had to go up there, and we didn't have enough drivers, so. John Wallace took him sometimes, and I took him sometimes, and
Wow.
we made it work.
You don't have to go this year?
No, we got, and I'll get to that in one of my motions. Now we have a monitor that's able to do that.
Okay.
Won't get too much into the HVAC here. We can expand on that in the public meeting. But suffice it to say, the unit is up and running. I think Gina can probably tell you that it's very cool in those areas.
Now it's too cold.
So, yeah. So.
It's easier to put a sweater on than it is to take off.
The unit itself is working good. We still have some tweaks on it. The other things that I talked about last month, I'll fill you in during the work session. I submitted the Safe and Secure Schools grant last July 27th, I think I put on here. We're asking for $100,000 this year. We have to match that with $100,000, which with our officer salaries, we can easily make that match. Previously, we'd only been asking for 50, so hopefully that comes through for us. And we had some issues with our new concession stands. The workmanship on the stainless steel countertops was not what we were satisfied with. So PSI had their subcontractor come back in and redo those, and they look very good. And then I have two motions. One of them is to your point, Beth, about the motion to, how does it read here? Approve the daily driving rate for monitors that have completed and hold the yellow card. And the yellow card is a safety card that allows them to commercially transport students on a activity bus that is yellow, has lights, and a stop arm. So our monitors will be able to take that route and drop kids on and off at actual bus stops, which we can't do with the white buses. So there was some initiative on their part to get the yellow card. It was a 3-day training, and it's a win-win because we're able to take a driver off that route,
Sure.
put them on a gen ed bus. So ask for that motion, please.
Could we get a motion to approve the daily driving rate?
Second.
Yeah. Rob, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Does that 3-day class, since they are now transporting people, does that allow them to drive our full-size buses as well?
No, the yellow, so every bus driver has to get a yellow card. So these bus monitors only hold that yellow card. The next step
CDL.
for 15,000 pounds or higher, or 15 passengers or more,
Okay.
is a CDL.
Okay.
So when we get the yellow activity bus that we ordered, they'll be able to use that. Yeah, well, next July,
Gotcha.
probably,
This will be for next.
yes.
So are they going to take the place of the little white bus? Or we're going to have all three?
White buses
So
will be
we'll-
athletics.
We
Oh,
will
just a-
slowly turn those over.
Okay.
Our activity buses, with the exception of 4A, are getting a little long in the tooth.
Okay.
So-
I was in
Yeah.
front of one the other day on the interstate and thought, boy, we need to send that to Earl Scheib.
Yeah.
That's
It's
1A,
it's
I'm
probably
sure.
1A.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not in good shape.
What is the chances since we just got that newer one last year, and we're waiting for this bus to really free us up until July of this year, of taking 1A, painting it and adding a stop bar to it, would it then qualify?
I would have to ask Misty that. I don't know what the inspection parameters are on that. We don't typically like to send 1A very far away.
Right.
It's just going to
So,
Lou High, isn't
yeah.
it? And maybe Roncalli.
I will say, it passes inspection every
It
year,
does,
so.
it's absolutely,
It
it is
is-
safe.
it is safe.
We would never put a child on a bus that
Absolutely.
is not safe.
Did-
The second motion is the white Wells Fargo 32-foot trailer, asking you to declare that as salvage. It is not used for anything other than to take up space. With the exception, we put furniture in it from Hornet Park last summer, but that's the first time it's been moved in several years. So we would ask you to declare that as salvage, and we'll advertise it and sell it.
So we bought it in like 1986. I know that because I was here.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Could we get a motion to declare that as salvage?
I'll make a motion.
Tara, Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We're going to do this together like we usually do. We're going to make a motion to approve the minutes and the claims all in one fell swoop, okay?
I'll motion to do the one fell swoop.
Rob? Who'll do second?
Beth seconded.
Oh, Jill?
Or
Beth?
Beth
I'm sorry, I
seconded,
can't
yeah.
hear her sometimes.
It's okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we have fundraisers. We had a ton of them. But I think I asked you guys if we could get those put on the computers.
We've got big news.
Are they not going to be handwritten anymore?
We're so excited. So Tim and Steph have worked on this.
Yeehaw!
And Tim just wrote it. You are going to have the classiest looking forms that are submitted. And
So excited.
And it's going to make the lives of the principals better because they are going to be able to electronically sign. So like, it's just gonna,
Ooh,
like,
nice.
it's 2023, Brett. It's like,
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really excited about it, and thank you, Steph and Tim, for your work on this.
Yeah, thank you so much. I knew you were going to do it. I just knew you would. Could we get a motion to approve those thousands of fundraisers that we had?
I move to approve the fundraisers.
Jill,
I'll second.
Tara, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then we have a field trip application. Could we get a motion? Does anybody want to talk about that or ask any questions before we approve that one? Okay, could we get that approved?
Motion.
Rob?
Second.
Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then we have a motion for donations, and I personally just want to thank Dick's Sporting Goods
Yeah.
for all the money that they gave to what was our cross-country and our softball team. That's fabulous, and we can't thank them enough. Could we get a motion to approve that?
I'll make said motion.
Tara?
Second.
Rob, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? C9 update, Jill.
Well, most of the information I've received is through emails. C9 started last week. They always start a little bit behind the school systems, just so everybody can get in and settled. So far, it's going pretty well. They are under the same challenges as we are with not collecting textbook rental. And in the past, textbook rental was collected typically not for books, but for materials used in class. Steel-toed boots, dental equipment, things like that, which are now not going to be provided because C9 does not have the money to do it. So they're having to do it via class list, supply lists. So that's the way we can legally do it. So we'll see how that goes. But for how it affects the school systems, it also affects C9. So the buying power of being able to get steel-toe boots as a discount or specific things is now gone.
Wow.
So if you have children in C9, be prepared that this will come home. And depending on how it is, it could affect how some children attend C9. So, because if you can't afford those things, then you're consistently out of uniform, not compliant in class, and therefore have your privilege to attend C9 removed.
And sometimes it's a safety issue. And you have to worry
It's
about their
extremely
safety.
a safety issue. If you can't afford $250 steel-toe boots, you can't attend construction trades, welding, anything to do with machining, anything to do with automotives.
Did they find a welding teacher?
They did find a welding teacher. They're
Good.
fully staffed at this point in time. So just be prepared that is a huge challenge that's before C9. So especially with our students, maybe not so much with other contributing schools, but with our students. We do Dr. Kovach's annual review tomorrow's or Thursday, so we'll be getting there early and doing that in exec. The construction project is moving along. They have not reported the fitters that they poured wrong 5 months ago. So I now know 2 construction companies, never more. So it's moving along, and we'll see. But hopefully we'll have more of an update when I go on Thursday.
Okay, did you want to talk about updated enrollment?
Yes. But I wish I just had a video of everyone going for their keys. That was the funniest thing, just being able to see you all like,
No idea what it sounds like. Is that me?
hilarious. Oh my gosh, that was really funny. Okay, anyway, yes, I have such an incredible success story, but we don't like to count our chickens before they're hatched. So we are obviously not spending any money until well, we're just not spending money, full stop, because even if this sorts out the way that we think that it might, we're still not going to spend any money because Julie won't let me. I'm really, really thrilled to share with you all that the efforts of our marketing, that what has been just presented in our buildings on behalf of our educators and our team, we think it's really beginning to translate. And we have started this school year off better than any school year that we have seen since before the pandemic. We are currently sitting, as compared with last February, right, we are 83 students up. And as we compare to last September then, forgive me because I haven't done that math yet, we just had a little slight adjustment at the high school, but our ADM today, actual human beings that are sitting in seats, holy name students removed, everyone, these are numbers of kids that are actually coming to Beech Grove that we will count, 2,836.
Nice.
Wow.
It's extraordinary. So I have a real bad habit of like hoping, and then, I'm just really hoping that come October when we meet and we talk about our final ADM, that we are still talking about numbers that are very high, right, as compared with this time last year. And I expect that will be the case. But I also expect that there will be fluctuation because we're looking at 2 more months that we need to get through.
It's not till October 1st this year?
Second or third, yeah. It's an October date now because of a federal requirement.
Now,
So-
I do have some questions. I'm great, I'm thrilled that we're
Absolutely.
up. But I know that we had right-sized a lot of classrooms and removed some teachers through attrition.
Right.
In order to, save money.
Right.
And now with a much higher amount of kids coming to school, are our classes too big?
So it's a fair question, and I think that the conversation that we've had with the principals, which I really appreciate that they've just been really respectful of this. We're in that space right now where we're settling in, right?
Right.
So we were at about 14, 15 kids up at the high school. Mr. Carr, they worked their tails off today to try to figure out who actually is not showing, so cleared out their books. So 14 kids shifted at the high school today. So that, and that's just really normal. So as we work these next couple, 3 weeks, we're gonna get into kind of who we are. We still have students that are enrolling, that are coming to the administration building, that are potentially out of district. We have students who are enrolling who are in district, who want, who just are, kind of realizing that school has been back for a couple weeks. So all of this is, we're just in that phase. So they have been super, super gracious to just, let's live with this for a little bit, let's see where we are. And then if there are pain points, we'll respond. But right now, and that just shows that our staffing was at a space where we really did need to right size, we're looking pretty good as far as where we are. The high school is big right now, and it's a wonderful thing. And so there might be some shifts that need to happen at the high school, but they have more staff in order to do that.
I guess I'm less concerned about the older kids
Sure.
and more concerned about those younger grades being in a classroom of
We're not up to 30.
30.
No, we're normally like 25 to 1
Because
or
we
something, right?
agreed at some
23 or
point in
something.
time, 26.
26
Yeah.
is the max
Yeah.
we could do.
Yeah, so if it gets higher
absolutely.
than that, that's not a happy thing. And
right.
then what do you do if they keep wanting to come in? When do you say stop?
Yeah, well, it's a fine balance. I can't really say when, right? Because
Okay.
if we were to say that there was a day where we would say stop, then if we lose 20 kids the next week, which you can,
Right.
then, so I would recommend that we don't ever really put a stop, but we instead look at our capacities for each grade level. So if we get to a space where, for example, this is a great illustration. Kindergarten is very strong right now. That's a really great sign when kindergarten is looking good, with over 200 students in kindergarten. Erin had students who were asking for early entrance to kindergarten, right? So had families that wanted to enroll early, before the age restriction date. So we felt like we were at a capacity in kindergarten, and we asked those students to come next year when they're age
When they're supposed-
eligible,
when they're
right?
supposed to, right.
But as far as kind of across the district, like,
Right.
we are still accepting students, and we will always accept students who are residents of Beech Grove.
Of course.
If we do get this higher ADM and it stays consistent, is there a potential that if we do have certain classrooms or grade levels that are bigger, that we can hire on some of those paraprofessionals to help out the teachers, so there's 2 adults in the room as opposed to just?
Yeah, all sorts of
One,
options, you
okay.
bet. And I think that's exactly how we handle it. We look at each case as it shows up. And if it's an elective teacher, or if it's a classroom teacher, if it's a EL teacher, we've seen an increase in the number of students who are English learners. Mr. Beckley just shared some data with me just this morning, and we might need to be looking at adding staff for our EL students. So, this is, we're just in that analysis phase right now of trying to figure out, who's actually going to be here and how we make sure that we have the right number of staff that are serving our kids.
I
Great
just
question.
want to make sure teachers don't get depressed
down.
and feel too
Absolutely.
stressed, and, they're very important to us, and we don't want to lose them just because we wanted to add a few more kids into the school.
Sure.
Okay.
Super fair.
Can I ask a question about the kindergarten?
Yeah.
Would you just refer them to go to preschool, or what is that about? Or,
We
okay.
could, and we took some early enrollee requests right at the start of school before because enrollment continues. So
Sure.
I'm gonna explain. But we have shut that down. We recommend preschool, however, now we're fully preschool.
Okay.
So now it is, there are some neighboring districts with different entry dates. If they can go somewhere else, that they're welcome to, but I usually just say we look forward to seeing them next fall.
I have,
Yeah.
I have a question about kindergarten. Do you require that all the kids be potty trained before they come?
Yes and no. That is the norm, but we have multiple kids this year that either in their IEP or for medical exemptions are wearing.
That would be totally different, but
Yes.
any other student, they have to be
Yes.
potty trained?
And if we don't have a medical note, then we work with the family to make sure there's progress being made towards having a medical exemption or getting that resolved, and then they need to be potty trained.
Okay, I was just curious. Okay, anybody else? Success stories, anything else? Okay, well, let's get a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Rob?
Second?
Jill? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Adjourned at 7:13.